9 Sports.
What is poppin', Siouxland? Welcome to sports. His team still look to claim a spot in the Elite Eight. One ticket was punched last night after the Iowa-Nebraska Sweet 16 matchup. This was Nebraska's first time making the Sweet 16 in program history, and the first time for the Hawkeyes since 1999. The Huskers held the lead the entire game until the final 2 minutes of play, when Iowa would take control for the first time of the game and create separation to go on to win 77-71, advancing them to their first Elite Eight appearance since 1987.
We had a long game to go. It was we were down, I think, 10 with 10 minutes into the game, 30 minutes to go. So we knew that we just had to take it one media at a time, dwindle it down a little, and we ended up cutting it to 3 at half, and that definitely helped.
We just talked about like what we've done for this state and this program. This is the best thing to happen to this university in a long time. So Coach made sure we knew that, and went through all the seniors and saying how much they meant to him and this university. So just super proud of this group.
Iowa now faces number 3 Illinois tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Meanwhile, one more Iowa school is on the hunt for an Elite Eight spot as the number 2 Cyclones prepare for their late night battle with number 6 Tennessee tonight. Star player Joshua Jefferson there is still a game time decision after spraining his ankle earlier in the tournament. However, the Cyclones have fared well without him so far and look to punch their ticket to the Elite Eight tonight for the first time in over 25 years.
Very excited. Obviously one of 16 teams left here, so I think it's just very cool that we get the opportunity to play versus Tennessee and hopefully move on to the Elite Eight. And it's something, we were here 2 years ago in the Sweet 16. We lost to Illinois, so obviously a couple of the players were here and we want to get back further.
The urgency is just at its most for us, obviously, it being our last season, and just trying to take advantage and not leave anything out on the court.
That game tips off tonight at 9:10 p.m. and we will have updates right here at 10. Last but not least, let's head out to the baseball diamond as Northwestern hosted Hastings for a doubleheader. Raiders are 6-3 in conference on a 3-game win streak, while the Broncos are 3-6 in conference, just trying to stay afloat. This one scoreless after 2 innings, and Caleb Kasari is going to keep it that way, striking the batter out with this fastball down the middle, and the Raiders take over in the bottom of the 3rd. Jump to the top of the 4th, Micah DeHaan on the mound for the Raiders. This ball popped up, should be foul, but look at that hustle from Kasari from 3rd, dives and snags the out, and this one down the same inning line, drive to 3rd, and Kasari sends it to 1st for the double play to keep it at zeros. Raiders take game 1 of the doubleheader 4-1.
Is that grass or is that turf?
That was turf? Yeah, the outfield was grass.
Green.
That was turf.
Yeah, it looks awful green.
It was really cold, though. I don't know about the warmth.
KCAU 9 Sports.
What is poppin', Siouxland? Welcome back to sports. Only a few more spots are left in the Elite Eight. One of them could possibly be taken by 2nd seed Iowa State as they duel the number 6 Tennessee Volunteers. The game got off to a very late start. Thank God it is not a school night. Star player Joshua Jefferson was a game time decision and was officially ruled out at tip-off. However, at last check, Iowa State just took a 33-32 lead 50 seconds before half. We'll have more on that game tonight on KC9.com. Next, we head to the ice where the Musketeers host the Madison Capitals for their second to last weekend of regular season play. Muskies are coming off a nice 5-1 Wednesday win over the Fargo Force, looking to stick to their winning ways. Jump to the first period, Muskies making an offensive push. Max Anderson tries to sneak that in between his legs, but Cash Cruitt shuts it down. Capitals remain up 1-0. Later, Musketeers storming the Capitol again. Shane Gold wrapping it around, sends it to Gavin Gary, who fires it into the goal to tie things up at 1 apiece. But the Capitals would put their foot on the gas in the remaining periods to win 5-2. Now, last but not least, the USHL released their finalists for the Goodrow Award, and Musketeers defenseman Christian Lyons has found his way on the list. The USHL calls Lyons one of the most dependable and respected defensemen on the Muskies roster. Lyons has played in 53 games in this season with Sioux City, racking up 11 points and 0 penalty minutes all year. And that is just on the ice. Off the ice, Lyons has had a very respected reputation amongst the community. Strong case to earn the award, which highlights excellence on the ice, spirit of the game, care, and responsibility.
And, well, we're going to go back to the Iowa game because I know when I watched you with the Huskers, you were dripped out in Husker gear. So what are we looking at for the Hawkeyes for your perspective?
I mean, they've had nothing but upsets so far, so it's looking good for them today.
All right, well, thank you very much, Alex.
What is poppin', and welcome back to sports. Only one team remains standing in the NCAA tournament for Siouxland State, and that was the Hawkeyes, having the work cut out for them, taking on number 3 Illinois in the Elite Eight. Hawkeyes have completed 3 straight upsets in the tournament, looking to keep the momentum going against a strong Illinois squad. Iowa held a 4-point lead at half, 32-28, but Illinois woke up in the second half, scoring 43 points behind Keaton Wagler, who led with 25. Iowa fell to the Fighting Illini 71-59, ending their historic tournament run and their season at 24-13.
Gave it my all in this Hawkeye uniform. But I just hope that they have continued success, and that's all I want for them. And they'll do just that. And I don't know. It's hard to put everything into words right now, but yeah, I gave it my all, and we all gave it our all, and it was a fun run.
But they did set a foundation for the University of Iowa, and hopefully for the future. Bennett, Tavion, those guys started this.
Now moves on to the Final Four in Indianapolis. Bringing it back to Sioux City, the Musketeers continue their series with the Madison Capitals for their second to last weekend of regular season play. Muskies look to get back in the win column after dropping Friday night's game 5-2. Jumping to the end of the second period, Muskies already holding a strong 5-1 lead. Get the puck over to Max Anderson, and he buries it in the net for his second goal of the game, and the Muskies take a 6-1 lead. This one was low scoring for the Capitals until the third period, and that was because of one man. Ryder Shea built a wall in front of the goal, snagging 32 saves all game as Sioux City takes care of business and wins it 7-4. Now let's take this party out to the ballpark. Several Siouxland GPAC squads with doubleheaders, starting with Dordt hosting Mount Marty. Dordt took both games Friday with a combined score of 22-11, looking to keep the Lancers at bay throughout the weekend. Defenders start strong. Logan Templeton smacks this one straight over the wall in center field to put Dordt on the board early 1-0. But Mount Marty would find their groove in the second inning. Bases loaded. Tyler Vance sends this one to center right, and the bases unload. Lancers take a sudden 4-1 lead. Defenders would escape the inning after this throw out from the catcher to second. Chisholm Demers with the cannon. Dordt would narrowly get by with a walk-off RBI to win 9-8. Now we head to Orange City, where the Red Raiders continue their series with Hastings after winning Game 2 on Friday by 10 runs. Northwestern already up 2-1 in the third, but the runs keep coming. Grant Goudry there smacks it over the wall for a solo home run, the second for Northwestern on the day. Red Raiders go up 3-1. Jump to the fourth inning, though. Broncos think the wind can carry this one the distance, but Jack Craig says no way. Tracks the ball down, snags the pop before running into the wall and keeping the Broncos in the stables. Northwestern keeps the weekend sweep alive with a 6-2 win in Game 1. Last stop is the Bishop Mueller Complex, where instead of the Chargers, it's Morningside hosting Midland. Mustangs took the first game 18-3. Jumped to 2 down, top of the third. Warriors looking to score. Second base, Romani Perez with the hustle and dive sends it to first to force the runner out and close the inning. That puts the Mustangs in position to score first. Runners on second and third. Michael Snyder sacrifices the fly, but helps Michael Delzell land at home, making it 1-0 Mustangs. The Mustangs keep their heads on a swivel here. Errant throw to third allows Connor Maston to make a break for it. Jailbreak. Morningside goes up 2-0. Mustangs would hold off a late game, come back and win 7-5. And that does it for sports, guys.
All right, well, do you guys have any predictions on who's winning March Madness?
Arizona. I've been saying it at the beginning.
Arizona?
Yep.
Josie?
I don't know who's playing.
Well,
we'll go with Arizona,
we'll go with Arizona.
Because I love
Go Iowa State.
Woo!
All right.
All right, well, thank you very much.
And last but not least, now that high school basketball season is finally all over, it's time to start announcing our nominees for Sports Zone Basketball Players of the Year. Our first nomination comes from Western Christian senior forward Landon DeStichter. Well, the Dordt commit was a huge factor in the Wolfpack's postseason run, helping his team to the 2A state quarterfinals. Even though he missed time during the season, he still was second on the squad in scoring, rebounds, and blocks, being a matchup nightmare for any opponent that plays against him. And that will do it for sports.
Well, definitely best of luck of all the basketball players who
Yes,
are
no
up
football.
for that nom. And I know my sports guys. I totally
Yes,
know
you
them. Okay, and moving on.
What is poppin', Siouxland? Welcome back to sports. We had beautiful weather today, which means it was real nice at Pete Chapman Complex as the Wayne State softball team hosted MSU Moorhead for a doubleheader. Going into the game, the Wildcats haven't beaten the Dragons since 2024, looking to snap that skid this weekend. Jump to the bottom of the sixth, Cats down 2. Reagan Rebelbus doubles this into the outfield, allowing time for Jordan Bruston to race back home and cut into the deficit. Still, Dragons lead 4-3. Dragons would shut down the offensive burst, and it was Kennedy Borngerby's turn back on the mound, where she would hold the Dragons down with 2 strikeouts before the Cats took one more shot at tying the game. But the Dragons would take game 1, 4-3. However, the Cats would clap back in game 2 to win 5-0. Now across the sidewalk, the Wildcat baseball team was wrapping up their weekend series with Bemidji State, looking to complete the 3-game sweep. Bottom of the 5th, Cats already up 9-2. Gabe Monosmith would single it to left field, allowing Braden Cheney to advance home from third. It's now 10-2 Wayne State, but the runs just kept coming. Bases loaded. Paul Schuyler would hit his 2nd home run of the season for a grand slam. His 1st home run of the season in the 2nd inning of this game. Wildcats take a 14-2 lead, and they didn't look back. Wayne State wins 19-7 and sweep the weekend with a combined score of 56 runs to 27 in 3 games. Last stop for highlights, the Coyotes hosted Montana State Sunday afternoon for the Super 16 of the WNIT. Early 3rd quarter, Coyotes with a 10-point lead, and add on, it goes to Tara Biatis, who cans the 3. South Dakota goes on top 33-20. But the Bobcats come storming back. Taylor Cherrick with the kiss, and Montana State is back within 1 at 41-40. She had a Bobcat high 23 points. Head to the 4th, USD's Molly Joyce drives inside and scores the bucket, plus the foul. Coyotes clean to a 59-55 advantage. And just a minute to go, the Yotes on top by 3, and who else but Joyce drilling the tray ball from the corner to double the lead to 6. She poured in a season-high 31 as USD advances past Montana State, 65-56. Now, a little while later, back in the city, the Muskies played their last regular season home game against the Tri-City Storm. This one scoreless through the first period, and it was all hands on deck. Defender Ryan Poirier diving to shut down this shot attempt, keeping it at donuts. Ryder Shea had his hands full with 8 shots on goal in the first period alone, halting this breakaway. Storm missing on a one-on-one opportunity. Both teams would start scoring in the second, but the Storm would score a late dagger to win 4-2. Now that high school basketball season is over for Siouxland, it's time to begin announcing our Sports Zone Basketball Player of the Year nominees. For the first nominee for our Girls Basketball Player of the Year, we have a sophomore, Vermilion's Taylor Roovers. The Vermilion guard has accumulated 1,373 points through her first 2 seasons and averaged 27.8 points a game this season, along with stealing the rock 114 times. Stay tuned this week as we announce even more nominees for our Sports Zone Basketball Players of the Year. And finally, let's take a look at our Sports Zone top 5 plays of the week. Just another week of nonstop action, so let's lead off with number 5. Number 5 takes us out to Northwestern, where this Hastings hit may have the distance, but Jack Craig is going to be there to track down the fly before he runs into the wall. Nice hustle from the outfielder. Number 4, we go to the NAIA Women's Basketball Tournament, and Dort's Macy Sievers somehow gets it up and under the arms of the defender and drops it in. Number 3, we got Morningside Baseball. This hit for a single, but no. Romani Perez with the layout and throw to first to get out the runner and close the inning. Number 2, back to Northwestern on Saturday. Devin Dirks on the mound. He snags the bounce after this hit, tosses it home to stop the Bronco on the loose, and prevents the score. But while we're at it, let's keep talking about that Red Raider hustle. Our top play of the week keeps us in Orange City. The pitch, the pop, and Caleb Kashari booking it from third, almost diving into the dugout for the catch. What a play by him. Now we'll do it for top 5 plays, and for sports, we'll be right back after the break.
KCAU 9 Sports.
What is poppin', Siouxland? Happy Monday. Welcome to sports. Now that the NAIA basketball season is over, several players across the country were honored with yearly awards, but 2 of the highest honors came right out of Siouxland. For men's basketball, Northwestern's Jesse Van Kalsbeek was named the NAIA Men's Player of the Year. The 6'6" sophomore started in all 34 games this season, shooting 61% from the field, averaging about 34 points a game. He also led the Red Raiders with 421 rebounds and 51 steals. His efforts helped the Red Raiders reach the 3rd round of the NAIA Men's Tournament, but like I said, he wasn't the only Siouxlander to earn the honor. The NAI named Dort's Macy Sievers as the Women's Player of the Year. The senior from Newell Fonda helped her team reach their 4th NAI title game in the last 5 seasons, where they came out as the national runner-ups. In her final year, she led in scoring while averaging just over 31 points a game. And if she wasn't scoring, she was setting up her team to score, leading in rebounds, assists, and steals. These two also earned first-team All-American, but they weren't alone. Also joining Sievers on first team is Dort teammate Gracie Schoenhoven, who averaged almost 30 points a game, shooting 61% from the field and leading her team with 34 blocks. On the men's side, we see another Red Raider making the squad in Jalen Langsy. The sophomore guard led Northwestern in scoring, averaging over 35 points a game, shooting 51% from the 3, while also stealing the rock 41 times. Full list of NAI All-American teams will be on our website, kc9.com. But speaking of yearly honors, at the high school level, I have a couple more Sports Zone Player of the Year nominees to give you, starting with Hinton's Logan Kimpema. The senior helped the Blackhawks reach the second round of the 2A state playoffs with his dominant performance, leading his team in scoring with just under 500 points. He also took the crown for rebounds and steals. On the girls' side, we have Cherokee Addie Wolfswinkel. The junior served as the Braves' leading scorer with 459 points and had 87 assists, but also was a defensive threat, stealing the rock 59 times. Her efforts helped Cherokee to a 3A IGH SAU tournament appearance. More nominees for our Player of the Year awards will be announced tonight at 10. That will do it for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
KSU9 Sports.
What is poppin', Siouxland? Welcome back to sports tonight. Several Siouxland boys soccer squads kicked off their season, but let's kick our coverage off at Bishop Heelan as they hosted Unity Christian. The Crusaders lost in the 2A state finals last season, while the Knights fell in the 1A semis. Jump to the action. Heelan in stride. Ball centered to Cal Geis, and he buries it for the first goal of the season. Heelan takes a 1-0 lead, and boys soccer is back. Jump ahead, half hour left of the first half. Knights corner kick. It's Brennan Obink with the header to tie the game at 1 apiece. Later, Knights on the attack again, but this time it's shut down by the goalie, Aaron Garcia, with the save. This one would end in a tie at 2-2. Down the road in Sergeant Bluff, though, Warriors would take on Glenwood. 4 minutes in, Rams with the corner kick. Jace Talman sends it, but Bailey Sivangza is there to corral it. Later in the half, free kick for the Warriors by Tayden Stevenson. Lofts it over Daniel Hernandez, but Colin Steele grabs it before Hernandez can get there. Jumping out of the 34th minute, SBL with the corner kick. Balin Cooper sends it into the scrum, and in there, Talon Stevenson gets to go for the goal. This one goes to the Warriors 4-1. Now on the ice, the Muskies just wrapped up their final home regular season game, but not without one player earning a weekly honor. Derek Olson was a mid-season acquisition for the Muskies, joining in late December, and in 30 games, the defender has netted 8 goals and served 5 assists. But he earns his second weekly award of the year from his performance last week, where he scored twice and helped out with a pair of assists. Congrats, Derek. See ya in the playoffs. Now, in other sports news, legendary Panthers men's basketball head coach Ben Jacobson is leaving after 20 years with the University of Northern Iowa. In his era, Jacobson has amassed 397 career victories as head coach, along with 4 regular season conference championships, 5 MVC tournament titles, and 5 NCAA tournament appearances. The winningest coach in program history is taking the head coach job at Utah State next season. Now, before we go, let's announce 2 more nominations for Sports Zone Basketball Players of the Year. First up, we got Kylan Vanderschaff out of SBL. The sophomore was a force to be reckoned with during his team's run to the 3A District 8 championship. Vanderschaff led the Warriors with 460 points and 128 assists, but he was not letting any opponents get away with anything. The guard also had a team-high 66 steals. Now for the next girls nominee, it's also a Warrior, but from Sioux Center. Maren Franken had a monster year. This season, she led her team in scoring, but also was a defensive unit. The junior snagged 200 boards, stole the rock 52 times, and blocked 30 shots. Stay tuned this week as we announce more nominees for our Sports Zone Basketball Players of the Year. And if you miss it, you can check it out at kcu9.com.
I'm going to say you're going to have a difficult time picking winners out of those groups. Some good
Oh,
talent.
man, it's a good bunch, and we have more for you in store. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll be right back after.
What's poppin', Siouxland? Welcome to sports. Hard to believe we are already in week 9 of the NAI softball season. But before we close the books on week 8, one member of the Dordt squad earned GPAC Player of the Week. For the second week in a row, Chloe Cruz has earned herself GPAC Player of the Week. In Dordt's 4 wins last week, the junior totaled 10 hits, 7 of them going for extra bases, including 4 home runs, while also driving in 8 other runners. Again, a big congratulations to Chloe. Moving over to baseball this afternoon, 15th ranked Augustana met Wayne State in a doubleheader. Wildcats, coming off a clean sweep over Bemidji State this last weekend, look to keep the momentum up. In the first inning, the Wildcats have a runner on second. That's when Max Hurd flies out to deep center. Cam Madsen shows off the speed by tagging up from second. Wayne State leads by 1. Half inning later, the Vikings trail, have a runner aboard when Reagan Pino launches a deep home run way over the left field fence. Now Augie leads 2-1 after 1. In the second, the Wildcats have an answer, though, with a runner on. Easton Maines hits a deep shot to left. That carries over the fence. Wayne State takes the lead back in front. It's 3-2 Wildcats. But the Vikings take game 1, 9-5. Speaking of baseball, everyone knows Wrigley Field as the home of the Chicago Cubs. But on September 6th, it will be the host of a NCAA volleyball doubleheader. The Huskers are set to face off with Missouri, while the Kentucky Wildcats play against Penn State. The event serves as part of the Big Ten SEC Volleyball Challenge Week and will be the first time volleyball will ever be played at the historic stadium. Now, last but not least, let's announce 2 more finalists for the Sports Zone Basketball Players of the Year awards, starting with West Sioux's Roman Henry. Henry's only a freshman, but was the heartbeat of a squad coming off a 2-win season. The guard led the Wolverines in scoring with over 600 points, while also taking the crown for rebounds and steals. Again, only a freshman, so he's only going to get better. But now, time for the girls finalists. We head out to the home of the Ehawks in Emmitsburg. Rachel Shaney was a leading force in the Ehawks' run to a 2A state tournament appearance. The senior was a double threat, leading her team in scoring and rebounds, while also shutting down opposing offensive pushes with 51 blocks. Tune in tonight at 10 when I announce 2 more finalists for our awards, and to check out other finalists, head to KC9.com.
All right.
All right.
Can't wait to hear the rest of
reading.
those.
Not only that, that is a lot that you guys have been covering.
It's been fun. It's been
Good
a lot.
job.
Cool.
We're back after a quick break.
Now, KCAU 9 Sports.
What is poppin'? So welcome back to sports. Soccer season kicked off last night for many squads. Tonight, we checked out a classic crosstown rivalry as Sioux City West visited Sioux City East. Raiders opened their season with a win over Fort Dodge, while West still the favorites heading into this one. Jump to the second half. East already with a 3-0 lead, looking to extend. Hure Bisrat in stride, sends us one to the goal, and it's misread by the goalie. Black Raiders extend their lead to 4. Later, just under 60 minutes left, Wolverines send it downfield to Abdissa Cabato, who breaks free for a one-on-one, pops it right over the goalie before the collision. Hope is still alive at 4-1. But the dagger would come from Werlin Chaj Garcia from deep and sneaks it in. Raiders move to 2-2 after winning 5-1. In other high school sports news, earlier this evening, Sioux City North announced the hiring of a new head basketball coach for the boys team. Meet Ty Benson, a Sioux City native who brings 5 years of coaching experience with him to the Stars. The program is coming off a 2-win season, and he hopes to build up a respectable program while investing into the school and the community. Finally, it's time to announce another pair of Sports Zone Basketball Player of the Year finalists, starting in Dakota Valley with Tatum Sorensen. Sorensen helped the Panthers to a playoff berth on a 13-9 record. The senior led his team in stats almost across the board, raking in 486 points, 146 rebounds, and was quite the pickpocket with a team-high 67 steals. Now flip the book to girls basketball. The next finalist is Albany Ranke out of Spirit Lake. Ranke is another freshman joining the list of finalists after her fantastic high school debut season. Starting in 23 games, she led her team in scoring and rebounds while also joining the 100 club in steals. For more on our finalists of our Sports Zone Basketball Player of the Year award, head to KC9.com. That'll do it for sports. We'll be right back after the break.